Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, what's up? My name is vianney.strick. Thank you so much for being here. As you guys can see by the title, today we're doing a full face of Sephora collection. This is the in-house brand of Sephora. They have their own makeup, and it is pretty much significantly cheaper, more affordable than the high-end brands that they carry. Ulta Beauty also has their own collection. I did a full face of them, and you guys really enjoyed that video and asked me to do this one. So today we're going to test out Sephora collection, and I'll let you guys know what's worth your money and what is not. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to join my squad. Let's get into it. Alrighty guys, I don't know if you guys can even tell in this lighting. I don't think you can, but my hair is like pretty red. It's like burgundy. I actually finally went to the salon and did it myself. Am I even in focus? If you guys want to see the process of how I got to this hair, I did post a salon vlog on my Instagram as well as my TikTok. If you don't follow me there yet, what are you doing? I literally post every single day. And yeah, let's just get into it. I loved my full face of Ulta Beauty. Check out that video. I'll put it down below and up here. They have so many amazing products, and so I'm excited to try this out. The only product that I didn't get is primer because I am testing out a new foundation that I've never tried, and so I just don't like to kind of mix and match. So this is what it looks like. It's called the Sephora Best Skin Ever. This foundation retails for $20. It's supposed to be a natural finish, fragrance-free, hydrating, medium coverage, 12-hour wear with hyaluronic acid and anti-pollution formula. It sounds like something that I would like. I got the shade 28.5N, and it says for medium skin with yellow undertones. Keep in mind that we are matching the neck, not my face. My face will always be a lot lighter. Looking at it, it might be a little too orangey. The Sephora lighting always gets me. I chose this shade in person, and I just feel like it looks very yellow, but you know what? Well, it looks very orange, but I'm starting to notice that it is diffusing pretty well because there really is not that much coverage on it, actually. So it says buildable. Right off the bat, I feel like I'm getting more of a light medium rather than medium buildable. But I'm going to finish the rest of half of my face and I'll show you guys up close. I wouldn't say it's like a very full medium coverage, but you can definitely build it up to like a natural medium. I will say though, this looks really pretty. I know it's called the Best Skin Ever. I expected more coverage for some reason, but it's okay that I don't have it. I do think right now it looks really pretty. It definitely looks like skin. It's giving a nice natural finish, nothing too dewy, nothing matte. Again, medium coverage. My freckles are still showing through. And right now it looks really, really pretty. So that's with and without. See how it still looks like skin? Like the skin just looks a little bit more perfected. So right now I am really loving it. This looks really pretty. It's one of those foundations that I would wear by itself. Like it looks like my skin, which is nuts. I really like it actually. This is almost like a tinted moisturizer. It's giving tinted moisturizer. So I really like this. We'll see how it wears. We'll definitely do a little wear test, but so far this is really, really pretty. All right, next we have concealer. I have tried this, but it's been a while. So again, this is also the Sephora Best Skin Ever concealer, and it says it's a full coverage multi-use concealer with a natural finish, long wearing. I have the shade 20N. And from what I remember, I think you have to go pretty light with this concealer. It does have a nice fat doe foot applicator, so I'm just going to put some on. You know what? I'm going to do a little test for you guys. I'll just put it on one side at first so we can compare. It does have a, not the best smell. You know like how sometimes makeup just like smells like paint? I always get redness around my nose. Blends in very, very nicely. And now let's blend out the under eye. I always like to blend out the under eye, and then whatever I have left, I just put on my eyelid, and that's what I use as my eyeshadow primer. I actually do really like this concealer. When I first bought it, I did use it for a while, but what I learned from it is that it can get cakey very quickly, so just don't overdo it just because it's a little bit on the thicker side. It's like right in the middle. It's just like a natural coverage, and so I do think a lot of you guys would like this concealer. I think it looks really pretty. I will say it's giving me a more medium than full coverage in person, but like I mentioned, I don't like to add too much because then it's gonna get a little bit thicker. But a good tip is just to like let it dry a little bit under your eyes before you blend it out. And by the way, this shade is perfect. It's like a medium tone, yellowy tone shade, and I really do like it. Alright, so that is the concealer, and so far this combination of concealer and foundation look really, really nice. Of course, after we're done with the makeup, I'll show you guys in natural lighting, and then we'll do a little 8-hour wear test. But so far, the skin is skinning, and now we gotta set her so that she doesn't go anywhere. So for the setting powder, I'm gonna be using, I believe this is probably one of like their most popular products, and I also have tried this one. So not everything is first impressions, which I know that you guys appreciate. So this is a powder that we'll be using. It's called the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder. It's described as a versatile face powder that provides buildable coverage, naturally radiant finish that looks like skin. Wear alone for a breathable coverage, or pair with complexion products to set, brighten, contour, or bronze. Obviously, depending on what shade you get. But I do have the shade 25 Beige. We are going to set the under eyes with a puff as well as the face with a brush. I'm going to quickly blend out any creasing, and we're just going to go ahead and start setting. I do remember really liking this powder and it being like really blurring, and I think they have a pretty good shade range. It just doesn't feel drying at all. Like, you know how sometimes when you set your under eyes, you just feel like a little tightness for a little bit? This is like not giving me any tightness, and it is blurring my skin. I will say this powder gives off like Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder vibes, in the sense that it's like very blurring but not drying. The only thing I will say is that I do prefer this powder on the face rather than the under eyes. This combination together is not my favorite for under the eyes. It just makes it look a little bit dry and cakey. And like I mentioned, this powder is nice by itself. This concealer is nice by itself. But for some reason, I don't love these two together. But my skin does look amazing. So I really do prefer this one for the skin. See how like my skin just looks airbrushed, and it added so much coverage and it looks really blurred, but it's not drying. So I do love this for the face. Not my favorite for the under eyes. So let's move on to some contour. You guys know I don't contour very often, but I don't know why I've been getting kind of into it, and I do have a Sephora collection contour that I have used before. So this is what it looks like. It's very small. They do have blushes for this exact like style, but I decided to get the contour, and this one's in the shade First Touch. I just thought it was like the perfect like cool tone contour shade, and it is a matte formula obviously, and it is like nice and pigmented. It's like a medium pigmentation buildable. I'm just gonna grab a little pointed brush and chisel out the cheekbones. I actually have not tried the blushes in this line. I do have a different blush to show you guys, but this contour is really nice. It's so inexpensive, and like I mentioned, it has nice pigmentation. The shade for me personally works really well, and I actually love how compact and like little it is, and that it has a little mirror. I mean, look at that. Look at that little shadow compared to this side. You see how like you can like really make such a difference with only a little bit of product. And it looks so natural, right? Like, doesn't that look so, that looks like such a shadow. That looks like a shadow that I was born with. Like, yeah, I was born with that shadow. I'm gonna do a little bit of chiseling out. Why not? But yeah, this is really nice and very inexpensive. So for bronzer, I did go ahead and buy this. This is, well, I bought everything. This is going to be a first impression. It's just called the Sephora Bronzed. And you guess where I got it? At Kohl's. I know that Sephora went into Kohl's, but I don't know if it's all Kohl's, but my Kohl's has Sephora, which is nuts. I had no idea. I got the shade 05 Mykonos. I'm a little bit afraid because the shade looks a little scary, and it definitely looks, I don't know, not as warm tone as I'm used to. Here is the shade next to the contour. I'm gonna go in with this little BK Beauty brush. I'm just gonna grab some and then start off slow and see where this takes us. I don't know why I'm so scared. Cause you know why I'm a little scared? Because I'm so used to having cream bronzer on my face, but because I don't have that right now, just going in with just a powder, I don't know why it freaks me out, but it's a great way to test the actual pigmentation without having something under. Oh yeah, okay. Very pigmented, but does not look like splotchy or anything, but it's very pigmented, so keep that in mind. I'm literally going in with the lightest hand. Seems like it has a little bit of like a satin finish, right? I feel like it does. Look at that. Oh, that's getting a little bit crazy. The bronzer itself is not patchy, but like I guess I didn't set my forehead all the way up, and so because it's so pigmented, it's kind of just holding on. Okay, let's just do the other side though. I do like it, but I will say out of the shades that they offered, if this was like my best shade, it's just not my perfect shade. So I don't love that. If you do have more medium olive skin tone like me, what I noticed is that their bronzers lean a lot more like red rather than olivey or yellow. So this is just not like my go-to bronzer shade. So just keep that in mind. But the formula is very, very pigmented and blendable. But, you know, make sure you set your forehead right. I don't know. I'm just not loving it. Like, the formula is fine, but it's the shade that I don't love with, like, way too much pigmentation that I'm just not loving because of the shade. You know what I mean? I give this, like, a 7 out of 10. I tried fixing the forehead. I tried fixing the forehead. Hopefully it looks normal. Let's move on to blush and highlighter because I'm actually very excited to show you guys this face palette. I actually purchased this myself, not for this video. I just thought it was really pretty, and it was for sale for like 10 bucks, but originally it's 20 bucks, which I still think it's a pretty fair deal. It's called the Sephora Micro Smooth Captivate Palette, and I believe they have 2 different shades. I think I got the shade Captivate, but it's called the Sephora Micro Smooth Palette. And as you guys can see, you get a baked bronzer, a baked blush that's shimmery, and then a highlighter. Here is the bronzer, the blush, the like shimmery blush, and then the highlighter. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this palette is giving hourglass. It's all baked and it's all really, really nice. So why don't we go ahead and put on the regular blush first. It is a little bit on the pigmented side, so I'm gonna take some off and just pat it out. And I just like this palette. I think it's so pretty. I love the shade range. Again, very pigmented, going with a light hand. Whoops. I really like the formula. I like the concept, and I like the finish, and I like the packaging, and I like the price. And I like that I look like a clown. I need to blend, blend, blend. I wanted to top it off with the shimmery one to show you guys, but now I'm scared. I'm only gonna add a little bit more because I love you guys, not because I need it. I'm going to go in like a very fluffy brush and just grab a little bit of the shimmery one just to show you guys. So see how that like baked blush already has like life to it? Now we're going to add even more life to it. We are doing some first aid and giving it life. See how pretty that is? I'm going to let it sit. You guys know how my face like eats blush. I'm going to let it sit for a little bit and let it, you know, have a little snacking. And then I'll come back and add highlighter to my face because I feel like right now it's just like a bit much. But see how pretty that is? And you guys know I don't love like a lot of shimmer, but this is like a baked shimmer and it's just so pretty. Maybe I should like dupe this or try to dupe it with Hourglass. Let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in. I did go ahead and buy a brow gel that I've never tried, and I have no idea if it's going to be good or not. But we are blindly buying and blindly trying because that's what I'm here for. This is what it looks like, and it's called the Sephora... The Sephora Tint and Volume Brow Gel, and I got the shade Rich Chestnut. Oh, my camera is like beefing with me today. Only $12, and I do have a pretty nice shade range. It says it's a tinted brow gel that has texture and volume in a waterproof formula, natural finish, long wearing. I love the size of the wand. This is like one of my favorite sizes of wands. I always like to start out at the end of my brows to like really fill them in. Like this, and then I'll start going to the front so that it's not as harsh in the front. Okay, so far definitely pigmented. It's definitely filling in my eyebrows. The question is how it's going to dry and last. Okay, so that's one eyebrow compared to nothing. Definitely filled it in. I feel like it's not holding the brow hairs up. See how like the shape is not there? Usually I like put them up and they hold there. So it seems like the hold is not as much as I would want it to, so then I need to bring these brows down before they look crazy. Definitely not like a good laminating brow gel, but it might just be a good like little natural brow gel. It did say natural finish, so I'm just gonna finish with this eyebrow as well as the other one, and we can see like how it dries. But obviously the pigment is there, and I like the wand, and if it's waterproof, that's pretty cool. The consensus is that I look a little crazy. I'm not used to my brows not being like lifted. It is very pigmented though, and it is drying down, and it's not crunchy. So if you're looking for a brow gel that has a very small wand that will just fill in your brows and it be like a waterproof brow color, then I do think you're gonna really like this. But I think that if you really need a lot of hold to really put your brows in place where they don't like naturally sit, I don't think this one is for you. I do like it though. I don't think it's gonna be my favorite brow gel just because, again, I do need more lift. But I do like, I can appreciate that it's waterproof and pigmented. I know this is cheating, but I just don't feel pretty. So I'm just gonna grab a little brow gel with hold. Let's just use some Rare Beauty, and I'm just gonna like put my brows in place because I just cannot do it with like the brows all the way down. Like, you see how I like to bring them up. I don't even do like the full-on like lamination, but I do like how my brows like give my face, like, you see that? I need like a lift. So I'm just gonna like put these brows up. I'm not gonna add any more product, just a little bit of clear brow gel, and then we'll move on. Moving on to eyeshadow. This is exciting because I've never tried any eyeshadows from Sephora. I got the neutral palette. Sorry. I was like, you know what? Let me get a palette that I would actually use outside of this video. So I got the Destinations palette. It's so basic. This is what it looks like. So I actually like it. I think it's pretty cool. It has 3 like warm brown matte shades, a bone white shade, and then 3 shimmers. Should we do some swatches? Let's do some swatches. Here are the 3 mattes, 3 shimmers, and then the bone white shade. I just wish that they had a little bit of a deeper shade. I did look at the other palettes, and they were like really pretty and like colorful, but I just wanted something that I know I could use like every day. And I know that most of you guys also just want to see reviews of things that maybe you could use every day. First, going to go into this like middle shade. It's more of like a an olive shade, which you guys know I love my olive shades. I also love olives. I love martinis. I just love olive. And I also like the shade, like the color olive. I could tell that they were going to be buildable. They don't seem to be like super pigmented, but hopefully they're buildable. I kind of want to see what would happen if we put on this other shade. It's more orangey, but I'm wondering if it'll be more pigmented. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit darker and a little bit more orangey, so it's definitely showing up more on my eyelid. These 2 shades look very similar. I wish they had a little bit more difference. Now I'm gonna grab this shade right here, which again, not very dark, but we'll see how it looks on the eyes. I'm gonna like pack it on with a little brush and see if I can like build it up. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Like, do we see any difference? The shadows themselves are fine. They're just like medium pigmentation, but because they're so similar, I don't know, I feel like you can't have a palette with shadows that you need to build that are so similar in shade, because then they're all gonna kind of look the same. The formula itself, I don't hate it. I think it's pretty, I think it's natural, and I just feel like I could make it work better with different shades. I'm gonna grab the deepest shimmer, which is like the copper shade, and this one actually feels beautiful and it looks really nice. Yeah, the shimmers are actually really pretty. So I'm just gonna pack that. I'm just gonna put it everywhere. I am gonna grab a little bit of the middle shade just to like lighten it up a little bit in the center. Again, we're trying to create some dimension here, but it's very hard. See how even these shimmer shades look very similar? Am I liking the look I'm creating? Yes, I think it looks really pretty. But this is the only look I'll be able to create. So, yeah, a little disappointed. Again, the formula is not bad. Don't love the shade range. But if you do see a shade range that you like, Just keep in mind that it is more buildable, but it is a nice formula. Definitely more natural. Maybe I should put a little bit of this highlighter on, and then I'll do a little bit of the other highlighter on. I'm talking about my inner corner, by the way. I don't know if I'm even making sense. Oh, that's actually so pretty. Yeah, the shimmers I prefer. I do, again, think that these two shades just look very similar, but this is a really, really pretty inner corner highlight, and my brush is not even wet. I give this palette like a 6 out of 10. Most of the points are going because the formula is cute. I like the concept. I like the mattes and the shimmers and the everything. I don't love that it doesn't have deeper or more different shades, but I already said that 10 times. I'm just going to stop saying that, and we're going to move on to some mascara. So for mascara, I ended up just buying a sample because I'm trying to not be as wasteful, but I did want to try this mascara because it seems like it has the most high ratings on the Sephora website because they do have quite a bit of mascaras. It's called the Big by Definition Defining and Volumizing Mascara. The full size is $12, and it's described as a long-wearing mascara that provides a fuller looking, well-defined lashes while supporting your lash health. Oh, okay. Why is it supporting my lash health? And it's formulated with enriched plant-based proteins and vegetable-derived waxes to smooth and condition the lashes. Okay, so it looks promising. So let's go ahead and just do what we always do. I'm going to start off with one coat and we can compare it, and then we'll do 2 coats. But you guys know I'm always going to be a 2-coater. First coat, really pretty. It's giving length, it's giving definition, it's giving lift. Not that much volume, but it's really pretty and like feathery. So I'm going to do the other eye real quick, and then we'll do the second coat. I have noticed though that the first eye that I did, the eyelashes are not as lifted anymore. Hopefully that's not the case, but we'll see. Dang, I'm a little disappointed. I know it might look like my lashes look pretty, but you know, it did give a little bit more volume, but now it's getting clumpy and the wand doesn't really like separate much. And the main thing though is that it's bringing my lashes down. I personally don't have an issue with my lashes not holding a curl. So the fact that this is like bringing my eyelashes down, maybe it's like the nourishing part of the mascara that just weighs it down. If it stayed curled as much as I would want it to, I think it's pretty. It's very feathery. It's going to give you more of like a natural feathery length and volume. Not that much separation, but I do think it's weighing down my lashes. So because of that, I am out. I give it a 5 out of 10. Let's quickly finish off the highlighter and then we'll do the lips. This is from Laura Lee Los Angeles, by the way. It's very fluffy, and so I'm gonna grab this gold shade and just add a little bit right here. Very, very pretty, and a little bit down the bridge. And maybe a little bit more right here. This palette is stunning. So for lip liner, we're going to be using this little bad boy right here. It's called the Rouge Gel Lip Liner. I have this shade Hot Sauce because it's fitting. And it does have a little sharpener because it's retractable. So the sharpener is just to make it like pointier. I have had this lip liner for a while. I don't really remember if I liked it or not. So this is what this video is for. That is so creamy, but as you guys can see, it definitely has a shiny finish. I don't know how you feel about that. This is more of like a hydrating gel lip liner, so I'm actually using this for my lip color before we add some gloss. Is this gonna be like the most long wearing? No. Is it very creamy and pigmented and easy to use and you can use it all over your lips? Yes. So it just depends on what you're looking for. Normally, I don't love a shiny lip liner, but this looks really pretty on the lip. And that gel formula on top of my lips, I feel like makes it look like latex. So I really like that. So again, maybe not the most long wearing and not matte at all, but really, really pretty. And then I'm going to top it off with some plumping gloss. This is the plumping gloss from Sephora, and they do have different shades, but this one's like the most plumping. It's in the shade 01 Outrageous Intense. As you guys can see, it's like a iridescent type of clear, shimmery little gloss. I hate that I'm gonna have to like ruin the applicator with this, but it's okay. Let's add it on to finish out the look. And by the way, this gloss is really pretty. It's one of those glosses that It definitely burns and it is plumping, but I think it burns a little too much for the amount of plump that it gives, but it definitely works and it smells really nice. It's very like minty and it looks really, really pretty. Alrighty guys, so that is the final result. I actually really do like the way my makeup looks. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what it looks like on my phone in front of a window in natural lighting. And then of course we will do a little wear test. But overall, I do think that the makeup looks really, really nice. Hey guys, we're at the window. Let me show you the makeup. This lip combo though, so pretty. Like I didn't expect to like it this much. But sorry, the day is very gloomy. But this is what the skin is looking like. Really, really pretty. I love how like luminous I am, which is not something that I say very often, but the skin is skinning. I really have been liking that foundation. So far, everything looks really, really nice. So I will see you guys either at the end of the day or in like a couple hours. Hey guys, so it's pretty late at night. I think it's been like 9 hours. And this is what the makeup is looking like. I am in front of my lights because it is so dark outside. My skin does look pretty good, but the foundation did kind of separate a little bit around here. Not a lot of foundation separate on me, so I was surprised about that, and I did get like a little shiny. But I will say the foundation actually looks perfectly fine in areas that I didn't put that concealer over. So I think I'm gonna try this foundation again without that concealer because I do think it looks pretty good everywhere else. The mascara, I'll give it like 1 point back because my eyelashes didn't completely go downward. It doesn't hold the curl as much, but I will say they didn't fall like all the way down, so I'll give it that. And then as you guys can see, like the blush is like super pigmented still and lasts a long time. So overall, I'm super happy with this whole video. Let me know if you guys want me to do like a comparison now between Ulta Beauty Collection and Sephora Collection. I'm wondering how I could go about that video. If you wanted to see that video, let me know in the comments like what kind of how the concept would be. Like comparing products, doing half the face, let me know. So anyways, I hope that this video was helpful. I will of course link everything down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.